Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, August 13th, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, US $50 million dairy plant for SOESDYKE-LINDEN highway. GECOM Commissioner BIBI SHADICK dies. 25-year-old stabbed to death during cricket game. Youths to be actively involved in national policy-making process, says President Ali. US $44 million loan agreement signed to enhance human capital. And Social Security Ministry launches anti-bullying campaign. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that President Dr. Irfan Ali has announced that a US $15 million dairy plant along the SOESDYKE-LINDEN highway is in the pipelines and that a plan for this project has already been approved. Jarl Bryan has the details.
According to President Irfan Ali during an outreach in Oriala Region 6, a plan for the dairy plant was approved only on Friday. He explained that this project will be linked to the byproducts of milk such as buttermilk, whey and skim milk.
We're looking at modern ways in which we can expand agriculture. Here in these communities, we have the opportunity to expand livestock. Only yesterday, we signed a new, we approved a new plan that will see a $15 million investment in a dairy plant on the Linden SOESDYKE Highway that will be linked to every byproduct of milk. These are the plans.
President Ali also announced that 5 marine cages will be introduced in Oriala by the end of this year. This, he explained, is a multi-agency effort aimed at boosting the agriculture and aquaculture potential of the community.
I've just checked with one of the large exporters for Basel, and they said that the average price is about $200 per pound. That is what they buy for to export. Now we have to look at the long term. This is a long-term industry. So what we're going to do? I'm going to ask the Ministry of Agriculture to work with you in having 5 marine cages. Marine cage is what they use now around the world to grow the fish in its natural environment. So the basha out there, you get the small ones and we make it easier and we have more guaranteed production. So we'll work with you on a marine cage project to help with in the natural course of things.
Ali also spoke about plans to build a national technical training center in Region 6 focused on skill development. There are also plans for 30,000 new household solar units, some of which will go towards Oriala. Jarl Bryan, The Evening News.
Government-nominated Commissioner at the Guyana Elections Commission, BIBI SHADICK, died earlier today. The Evening News understands that she succumbed at her East Street, Georgetown home sometime around 15 hours due to prolonged heart issues. As a commissioner at GECOM, SHADICK had been outspoken and played an integral role prior to and after the historic March 2, 2020 general and regional election to ensure democracy prevails in Guyana. She had also served as Minister of Human Services under a previous PPPC administration and was a former chairperson of the Guyana National Broadcasting Authority. Scores of persons have since expressed their shock and condolences over SHADICK's sudden passing. The Central Islamic Organization of Guyana also expressed deep sadness over the news. The Guyana government is looking to have young people actively participating in every level of the decision-making and implementation process across all sectors in the country. To this end, President Dr. Irfan Ali on Friday launched the inaugural Presidential Youth Advisory Council at the Artichon Conference Center. More in this Rupasina Ryan report.
The Presidential Youth Advisory Council currently comprises of 29 young and skilled Guyanese from various fields, over 50% of whom are female professionals. At the launch on Friday, President Irfan Ali explained that political and policy decisions affect everyone, and it is therefore important to have the youths involved in this process, which is not only geared towards national development, but also in setting the foundation for their futures.
They are here because I believe strongly that we need our young people to be critically integrated into the policy making and policy implementation of our country so they can have a thorough understanding and in-depth understanding as to how policies are determined, why they're determined, and they can contribute in the finalization of policies and programs that will take our country forward. It is active participation, not in the definition, but active participation in the actual programming and policy making of our country.
The Youth Council will be tasked with establishing plans and projects in communities across Guyana that are aimed at developing and enhancing the lives of young people so that they can get opportunities to achieve their full potential. In fact, this commitment was given by the chairman of the council, Josh Kanai, who pointed out that such a body that represents all facets of youths across the country has been missing.
All of us sitting here, we face different factors every day, especially the youths. From peer pressure, going on to disabilities and disadvantages. But with this Youth Council, I can assure you that we are going to push forward to assist and make sure that these goals and the aspirations of our youths are identified and moved forward and pushed ahead. So with the government backing us, the youths of today, with them backing us, we can make sure that each and every one of our goals and ambitions are realized.
Meanwhile, Culture, Youth and Sport Minister Charles Ramson Jr. said the establishment of this Youth Council is yet another demonstration of the People's Progressive Party civic administration fulfilling its promise to the people of Guyana.
It is very important that you understand why you're here and how important it is that you are here. And the country is going to change. More importantly, it's going to transform. We get to define, however, how the country is going to transform. We are more than having our voice heard. We are at the seat of the table.
The Presidential Youth Advisory Council was launched on Friday when the world celebrated International Youth Day under the theme Intergenerational Solidarity, Creating a World for All Ages. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
A 25-year-old man who was engaged to be married next weekend was stabbed to death during a cricket game at the CIOT ground on Woolford Avenue, Georgetown on Friday evening. Dead is Karim Kayum, an active member of the Muslim community and of Regent Street, Georgetown. Based on reports received, the now dead man would normally play cricket and on Friday evening. He met with his friends at the CIOG ground. However, during the match, Kayum and a young man who was said to be a close friend engaged in a heated argument over name-calling. During the confrontation, the suspect picked up a knife and stabbed Kayum in the region of his heart. Kayum collapsed and was picked up and taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The 21-year-old assailant, who hails from Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, was arrested, and during interrogation, he confessed to the crime. Coming up on the other side of the break, US $44 million loan agreement signed to enhance human capital. Please stay tuned.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Stock the finest in the country, both ceramic and porcelain, tiles and chandeliers you'll see while you shop around stress-free. Well, train stop at warming halls, make your shopping smooth and calm, providing you with quality to match your style is so unique.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. Amar Prasad joins us now to report that a US $44 million loan agreement was signed on Friday with the World Bank as part of Guyana's Strengthening Human Capital Through Education project. The project focuses on the expansion of access to quality education at the secondary level and on improving technical and vocational training. Let's have a look.
The agreement was signed in the Finance Ministry's boardroom by Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh and World Bank Resident Representative for Guyana, Suriname, Diletta Duretti. Dr. Singh noted that the signing of this US $44 million agreement for the development of human capital is a significant part of a much broader and comprehensive policy agenda. He explained with the rapid transformational development taking place, there is a greater need for human capital development.
We believe that there is no investment that is more important at this time than an investment in our people. And not only for emotional or rhetorical reasons, but for very clear, practical and logical reasons. Given what's happening in the economy, given the dramatic changes that our economy will be experiencing, new sectors emerging. I think Diletta mentioned some of these, ICT, climate smart agriculture, etc. Given the emergence of new sectors, the creation of new job opportunities, the demand for new skill types, the reality is that a very different workforce is going to be needed in the very near future to meet the needs of this new and emergent economy.
In brief remarks, Education Minister Priya Manik Chan stated that this project aligns with the Education Ministry's goals to improve and expand access to quality secondary education while simultaneously developing the country's TVET sector.
The government of Guyana is very clear that in this new Guyana we're building out, it will be people-centered. We know, as well as we know our names, that we could have all the high-rises and beautiful roads and bridges, but were people not developed simultaneously and proportionately with the infrastructure and other developments we see and we intend to promulgate, if we can't develop our people along the same line, then we are going to be poor. Each human being, and that is why it's aptly named the Human Capital Project, each human being must develop along with the beautiful resources that our land is benefiting from.
Meanwhile, Duretti highlighted that the funding aims to prepare citizens to excel in emerging sectors of the economy, including climate-resilient agriculture, low-carbon technology, and digital development. She said the World Bank is pleased to work with Guyana in this regard.
This project continues to build and complement the engagement that the World Bank has with the government of Guyana as a technical and financial partner around the human capital education agenda. The government of Guyana is investing heavily in its citizens with education and vocational training at the forefront of this agenda. And the government is working to ensure that more and more people, especially young people, can acquire the skills needed to benefit from its economic transformation. The World Bank is pleased to be supporting the government of Guyana in this very important endeavor.
The activities under the project are expected to benefit at over 61,000 students and more than 2,000 teachers and trainers at secondary level and at the TVET level. The project will support the piloting and national rollout of a new curriculum for grades 7 to 9 and finance textbooks for grades 7 to 11. It will also see the development of a new TVET sector policy for 2022-2030 and improve the delivery of TVET at secondary and post-secondary institutions. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Many months after launching its Every Child Safe campaign, the Human Services and Social Security Ministry on Friday rolled out its anti-bullying campaign with the motto, Do Good, Be Good, Live Good. Here is Shane Marks with the details.
Minister Dr. Vinya Prasad, while attending a ceremony held by the United Bridge Builders Mission in Guyana, UBBM, at the Bookland Gardens, Wolford Avenue, Georgetown, spoke extensively on the issue of bullying amongst children, specifically cyberbullying.
I am very, very thankful to be here on a day that speaks to young people. Today is International Youth Day, a day when the spotlight focuses intensely on young people. a day when we are reminded that their voices must be heard, a day when they're reminded to let their voices be heard, and a day when the world looks to young people for some of the solutions of the world's problems, because we understand how important it is to have young people not just merely be those that we want to do for, but they must also be the architects of their future. And that's an important thing.
Hazel Success is a social worker who delivered an outline of the UBBM in collaboration with the Human Services and Social Security Ministry now concluded anti-bullying campaign, said that bullying in schools, workplaces, in the home and online is on the rise and if left unchecked can destroy society.
It is necessary that we strive to curb this practice so that we all enjoy living in our beautiful native land.
The anti-bullying campaign intends to target bullying not only at the state level, but also at the community level. As such, the minister urged persons to report acts of bullying.
On social media, bullying happens. And what we need to do is to call it out for what it is. You know, they have a cybercrime act in this country. So many things are crimes. So it might cross the line from just being plain old bullying to being a crime. So we should not encourage cyberbullying in any of its forms. We need to call it out.
Additionally, Dr. Prasad said that there will be upcoming activities under the ABC initiative.
So there are a few other activities. I'll just mention them, and then over time we'll see them rolling out. We have the lunch buddy activity. So the lunch buddy thing, somebody who is your lunch buddy will sit with you and prevent you from sitting alone and being ostracized. Ostracized is a big word for just being left out. All right? So that's the lunch buddy. Then we are going to launch the tree note. The tree note is a simple thing. You want to know what that is? There are trees everywhere in our beautiful land of Guyana. And it's all part of us protecting our environment and being aware of climate change. So what you're going to do, take notes, any note, and you're going to clip them onto the tree. Those notes can be two things. You put a note to encourage somebody.
Shane Marks, The Evening News.
As government seeks to introduce high-value and non-traditional crops, the Agriculture Ministry is currently collaborating with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture to restart coffee cultivation in the Pomeroon. Rupasine Rang has the details.
Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa explained earlier this week that the goal is to supply the local coffee market within 3 years. It was pointed out that 2 years ago, the Pomeroon area was under threat, having been flooded along with the issue of poor drainage. This has been addressed by the Agriculture Ministry with additional works to be undertaken.
And this area has become a very important area for us for production. As a matter of fact, we are looking to start back coffee cultivation in the Pomeroon, but we need proper drainage system. As a result of that, we have made a commitment that we'll procure two excavators with a pontoon. I'm happy to say that a month ago I commissioned the 2 excavators and the pontoon at a cost of $150 million. We have ECA and Kati Institute, Kati University are working with us to develop the coffee production once again in the Pomeroon. And we are hoping that in another 3 years, Pomeroon will give us all the coffee and we'll be supplying Guyana the entire coffee needs.
The new equipment are stationed permanently in the Pomeroon to assist farmers with irrigation. During a presidential visit to the area, farmers had also called for the dredging of the Pomeroon River. A contract valued at $590 million has already been awarded to see these works through.
When His Excellency, the President, was in the Pomeroon, the farmers raised a number of issues about the dredging of the Pomeroon River. And as a result of that, the President made a commitment that he will look at it and look at the technical report and see what he can do. And as a result of that representation, we now have a contract at a value of $590 million where the Pomeroon River is being dredged. I am hoping at the end of this dredging exercise, the entire Pomeroon will have good access, good drainage, and thousands of farmers and thousands of livelihood will be created in the Pomeroon area.
Earlier this year, it was reported that plans to resuscitate the ground coffee project in Maruka, Region 1, was well underway. Significant investments are being made in producing new and high-value crops, while efforts are actively ongoing to expand other subsectors. Crops such as cauliflower and broccoli have seen increased interest, while the ministry has also started trials for corn, soya, and wheat.
Over 200 persons have applied to join the Guyana Police Force during a recruitment drive held in Region 6. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that the police force is initially seeking to recruit some 700 new officers and will be holding similar exercises in other regions across the country. Here's more.
According to Deputy Commissioner Alvin Brutus, the current demand for human resources in the police force is large. While he did not say what the quota is to bring the organization to full capacity, Brutus noted, however, that they are looking to train 700 new ranks, after which they will move to recruit more persons. But in doing this, the Deputy Commissioner explained that efforts are being made to ensure that the Guyana Police Force truly reflects the Guyanese society. To this end, persons are being recruited from all the geographic locations across Guyana. Brutus says this will allow the force to have persons from the different demographics of the country.
A lot of our members are within the organization drawn from the coastland, particularly Berbice, some from Linden and Central Georgetown. Not because they're the ones who are most keen to join the force, but because access for them is easier than those from the far-flung areas. And then, of course, I mentioned the cost before. That is a factor. And then those far-out regions don't have access to as much information as those on the coastline would have. So we're us going out there in person, bringing our recruitment centers to them.
The COVID-19 pandemic had halted the recruitment and training of persons to join the police force. But according to Brutus, the force has now made it much easier for persons who wish to become police officers by reducing most of the miscellaneous costs attached to the application process.
A list in the past were given to these recruits to purchase their civilian clothing, the dress shirts, ties, dress pants, shoes, socks, other things like soap, Colgate, and so on. It, as I mentioned before, is a challenge for those persons. Remember that they don't have a job. Many of them would have to borrow money, and some of their families and friends will not have that amount of money to lend them. So the support for them was not readily available, and a lot of persons abandoned the process because they could not withstand it financially. Now the organization, we've taken a decision at the commissioner level and on the ELT that the force will bear that cost, and that will remove that burden from them. So the applicants now, once your process is a seamless process through, and when you're sworn, we provide all the kit. So your role really is to come in, assimilate all that you can learn in the manuals that we present, learn policing, and then you go out to perform your duty.
Similar drives will be held in regions 7, 8, 9, and 1 within the next few weeks. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
We will now take a look at the bridge reports.
The Damarara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, August 14th, 2022 at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 5 hours 45, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
And now the local stock exchange market, compliments of Gassy. Guyana Cup takes center stage on Sunday. This and more coming up in the Sportscast, sponsored by Macorp.
Wash bay operators, are you looking for that unique service to elevate your business? Well, come on down to your #1 industrial store, Sylvie's, and invest in an undercarriage pressure washer tool. That's right, impress your customers by now washing under their vehicles easy and efficiently with an undercarriage tool. We have in stock different types that offer a wider range of services and can increase your revenue without having to invest in expensive ramps. Your customers are going to leave satisfied. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High in Hatfield Streets location, we can deliver in and around Georgetown. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
With unlimited games to choose from, you can be a winner with Superbet. Choose from our virtual sports, live betting, sports betting, live roulette, and much, much more. Place your bets at www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 and over. Play responsibly.